In this video, we're covering PIV Reader configuration with a Vigilant Unity without FIPS-201 support. Here are the requirements. You need to have a Vigilant Unity access control 648 or above, HID PIV readers connected preferably to an LP4502 or any LP Mercury board. We prefer to use the LP4502 in case if you want to have full FIPS compliance, you will not have to change hardware in that case. So LP4502 is the preferred method. You also need a HID OmniKey enrollment reader. That's a USB device. And PIV credentials we can support with this solution, any CAC PIV TWIC cards. Let's go ahead and take a look in some important notes in here. So this configuration will not support FIPS-201 compliance. So this should be utilized for maybe a transition phase going from a non-supported system and trying to reach the supported full FIPS-201, or for systems that want to utilize the government PIV readers without FIPS support. We strongly suggest using FIPS-201 compliance in an ACM or a Vigilant. The access control is a FIPS-201 certified. So in this video, here's what we're going to cover. We're going to show you how to configure the HID OmniKey enrollment reader to support and to read a PIV credential, PIV card. We're also going to configure in the access control a card format to support the PIV card and also configure the reader. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let me go ahead and show you how to configure the OmniKey reader. So first thing you need to do, this is the enrollment reader from HID. So first thing you need to do is plug the reader to your computer. So there's a USB connection. You should hear a little noise of accepting the device in your system. There is no drivers to be installed. They will pick it up very quickly. And then after that, you just need to open a browser and go ahead and enter the IP address that you see here, 192.168.63.99. That is usually the default of the IP address of this unit. If for some reason this doesn't work, you can go in your network, because this will add when you plug this in, it will add a network adapter to your computer, and there you can go under properties and see what is the IP address. So this is how this unit comes out. I'm going to go ahead and show you here that you can open any text editor. I'm using Notepad right now, and if I just present the card to the reader, you will get a number. So, and this is a pretty large one, is in hexadecimal. That's not exactly what I want to read from the OmniKey to be able to add a card in the access control. So what I want to do is read a decimal number, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So first thing is, when you first log in, you should be on this screen. You'll have a firmware, hopefully a newer version than this one by the time you watch this video. And then what you want to do is go over here, System Settings. And depending on the browser, I noticed that there is a little bit of a problem here. It does not show you the button, but this is actually a button here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a file. So I'm going to click there. And this will bring me to my OmniKey. And I'm going to go ahead and pick the file that I need. So that's my default file right there. So this will create a PIV configuration for 200-bit. And I'm going to go ahead and upload the configuration. So click there. This will upload the configuration successfully. And now you hear the unit refreshing. So that the unit just came back in now and is refreshed with a proper configuration. So if I put it back over here, so let's go ahead and hit enter. So I go to the next line, present the same card again. Now I can see a decimal representation of that PIV card number, and this is the full 200-bit card. Depending how you have the system configured or what kind of card format you're using in the access control, you will need to trim this number down to read certain portion. I like to switch this to maybe 75-bit because of the different types of readers that you can use out in a field. So if I have a 200-bit reader, I'm going to read that and then just select a 75-bit portion of that number. That becomes my card number. And I do that because if I have a mixed environment where I have a 75-bit, 128, or 200-bit PIV readers, I want to make sure that I use the lowest number, so in this case 75, so I can be compatible with all the readers in my facility, and then the output number will be always the same. So once I've done that, so we need to go over here, click in this keypad wedge right there. We're going to go to card selection. By default, it probably shows CIAs or something like that. You want to go down in this list and look for PIV right here. So that's my PIV unit right there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you will see that that is a configuration here, right? So I am not using the default, okay? If you try to use this default, it's not going to output the right number. Once you load the file that I just showed you here, the configuration file, it will output this now. It will configure this for you, outputting all the numbers. Now, here's the trick. You will have to start removing these numbers in here. So this will output all the entire 200-bit card number that is in the PIV card. But again, if I want to do a 75-bit, I can go ahead and start removing this until I reach the number that I want, or that is the same as I have configured in the access control. And I'll show you the access in a minute. So right now, let's go ahead and just give you a sense of how this works. I'm going to go ahead and just remove this one here. You have to put zeros, otherwise this will not take. So you have to do that. It will take immediately. You notice that this now is in green. That means you have changed your configuration, but you haven't saved it. I can try, it's active right now. So I can go ahead and try this out and test it. So this is what I'm going to do. And then if it's okay, and then I can come back over here and hit save there. So let's go ahead and go back to Notepad. This is the number that I got with the 200-bit configured. Now I'm going to go ahead and present the card again. And notice that I lost just one digit, right? So I'm going to go back to it, and I'm going to remove this one now. So 0 there, 0 in this one as well. Back to that card, hit enter so I go to the next line. Aha, notice that now the number is smaller, right? So you have to just try this and start removing these digits over here until you reach the number that you need, or the number that is compatible, that is the same that you're outputting in the access control, okay? So that's basically how you go about that. Once you're done, once you have the right configuration here, you're gonna go over here and apply changes. Also, it's a good idea for you to export the configuration and just save that to a file. So if you need to push this to another system, you can go ahead and do that, okay? Okay, so I'm logged in ACM. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to create the card format and assign that to the reader. So we're gonna go over here under physical access, and we're gonna go to card format. So I'm gonna click there, and then next you're gonna go ahead and click here, add card format. Will show up something like this. I already have the card format here configured, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how you do this. So this is a good moment for you to pause the video and copy these values here, okay? So you're going to be creating a card format just like this one. Obviously, you can put whatever name you want to do in here. So I'm doing a 200-bit mag to a 75-bit PIV card format, basically. So you want to put a 32 in here, 14 there for the minimum number of digits, and then the card length number will be 14, okay? Once you're done with that, go ahead and hit save here. That's the first part, okay? Now that we have this created, we want to go to doors, and you're going to pick the door that you want to use for this. I have a bunch of doors in here, but I already have them selected. So this is the door that you have with a for your PIV reader. I mentioned this in the introduction of the video. It is good to use the proper hardware to do this. So I would suggest to use the LP4502. but this configuration will work with any LP controller. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select the reader here. And the reason I say that the 4502 is if later on or in this transition phase, if you don't have it configured to do full FIPS authentication, you have the hardware in place, so you can always add the software needed and the configuration to have a full FIPS solution. You won't have to replace any hardware, right? So you want to have the proper controller, LP4502, and the right readers, the right PIV readers that goes along with that. All right, now I'm using this reader here. As you notice, is in a 1501, so I'm not using that, just for pure sample, just to show you how to do this. So I have the reader already configured here in ACM. This is already added to ACM. There's a couple of things you need to do. First one is here. You're going to go here to hardware, and you're going to click this pencil right here, right next to reader. Click this pencil right here. Okay, click there. This could be an OSDP or it could be a Wigan reader, no problem, right? Could be either one. You want to make sure that you click this, format by Nebo. Okay, so click that and hit save here at the bottom. Once you're done with that, you can either click in the reader name here again, so click there, and now you're back to the reader. Go over here, go to operations, okay, and you're going to add that card format that you created. So you might have some other ones in here. My suggestion is remove all the ones you have. Just for testing purposes, you want to make sure that you're dealing with just the card format that you created. In this case, I already added, here's my card format. Okay, so that's done in this part. Now I'm going to go ahead and present my card to the reader and go into here, into monitor. Let me clear that. And you see now that I presented the card to the reader and I get this number here. So this is the card number that is showing in ACM. Okay, it's saying invalid because I already have the card added. If you don't have it, it will show unknown, and now you will see the card number right there. Now I'm gonna go back to my notepad and look at the number that I'm getting from the OmniKey. So notice that's the number right there. Oh, back here. And this is the number that I'm getting the OmniKey. So I'm getting all this part extra. So there is more numbers because of the configuration. So I'm going to go back. So I'm going to keep this here in front, right? Or I'm going to be switching back and forth. I'm going to go here to the OmniKey and back to that configuration again. Under here, PIV, and then underneath here, so we scroll down, I'm going to start to remove one line at a time, okay? So don't just go one at a time, save it, and then present the card to your OmniKey with the notepad up, and that, so we'll get there. So all right, so 0 there, 0 here. Don't leave this in blank, because if you do, it will not take effect. So you want to put zeros, okay? Back here, and I'm going to go ahead and present my card again. All right, so I lost one digit, right? So back to it again. I'm going to remove this one. I think this probably should be enough now. Notice that I'm clicking outside here, so these numbers are taking effect. Once again, the green here means you changed the configuration and is not saved yet. So I'm going to continue to do this, and when I'm done, when I have the number that I need, I'm going to go over here and I'll show you. We'll go ahead and save that configuration. So let's go back here. I'm going to hit it again and present the card. Oh, we're getting closer. Let's see. Is that what we have in ACM? So here's the notepad. Oh, I got that 11 number here, right? There's 11. I just need to remove that. So let's go back to the OmniKey, and that should be it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do this one here. Remove that. 0. Again, clicking here, so this won't take effect. Okay, all right. Back to the OmniKey now, to the notepad, present it. Brilliant. I think now, oh, I think I still have one left, right? Yeah, it is, because it's a 4-bit. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this one as well. 0 and 0. Back to notepad. Enter. Present the card. Should be correct now. There you go. So now I have the same number. So if I go back to ACM, that's the number that I'm capturing in there. I should have the same number right in there. So that matches the number. So now once I have that, right, I can now go here in ACM, go find the person that I want, right? And then I can go to token, create a new token. This will open a screen for the token, and I'm gonna go over here, put in the internal token number, and present the card in the OmniKey enrollment reader, and there it is. That's my token number. After that, you just gotta go ahead and hit save here at the bottom, and that's it, and you're done. This configuration should work with any PIV reader as long as you follow those steps. Again, there is no validation, no certification of these cards, no enrollment process validation. This is not FIPS-201 compliant. It's just a easy step, maybe in a transition phase that you want to add some cards, or you're not looking for to have a full FIPS solution, which I encourage that you do it. But if you're not doing it at this time, this process should get you going, should get you to be able to read PIV cards, enroll in ACM, and use them as any regular badge or any regular token.